This week in writing, we are learning how to write sentences using commas. So it's called Commas in a Series. I told you usually when we're listing things or we're naming all of the different things, we place those commas between them to separate each thing, okay? So I have 3 sentences here on the board. They're each something different. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of time to work on all 3 of them. We'll do all 3 of them today. We won't break them down one by one.
You can see me.
So I'll give you, hold on a second, I'm trying to find where the sound is coming from. Okay, so yes, I'll give you some time to work on all 3 of them, okay? So number 1 says Max packed a shirt, a pair of shoes, jeans, and a hat. Okay, number 2 says Louisiana, Texas, Florida, and Georgia are in the South. And number 3 says we saw elephants, zebras, tigers, birds, and bears at the zoo. Okay, so it's 12:10. I'll give you until 12:15. 5 minutes to work on all 3. Go ahead. You can do all 3 of them. Yes. Yes. Did you start your facts page first?
Yeah.
The facts page is gonna be right at before that. Okay.
Shirt. What's this thing?
Write the letters in your first name.
First. And up here. A pair. This is a jean.
Yeah, and then it says write the letter in your last name.
I don't know how to do
And as we go through it. Okay, so number 1, Max packed a shirt, a pair of shoes, jeans, and a hat.
I'm done.
Okay, let's see. Anyone like to correct this one for us? Go ahead, Hannah.
Finding the M and Max.
Good. First letter M and Max.
Move your math book. The commas
Okay, where?
between shirt and pair.
Okay, after shirt, where else?
Right over here, jeans. Oh, right over here.
After shoes. And then you said after jeans. How do I finish it?
Period.
Good. Okay, is that where everyone put their commas? So it should have been a total of 3 commas.
I did all day.
Okay, number 2, Louisiana, Texas, Florida, and Georgia are in the South. Let's fix this one. Go ahead, Amina.
Okay. Capitalize Louisiana.
Capital L, Louisiana.
Texas. And a comma.
Comma after Louisiana. Capitalize Texas.
Comma.
Comma after Texas.
Capitalize the F.
F in Florida.
And capitalize Georgia.
G in Georgia.
And
Period. So that was a comma after Louisiana, comma after Texas, comma after Florida. And that was it. Remember when you see and or, that's it. No more commas after that. Okay, number 3, we saw elephants, zebras, tigers, birds, and bears at the zoo. Go ahead, Solomon. I'm coming, hold on. You have to write the letters in your name.
tigers. Put a comma between elephant and zebra.
I'm sorry, Solomon. Go ahead again. I'm sorry.
And a comma at elephant and zebra.
Okay, elephant, zebra.
And between tigers and birds,
Okay.
and put a period.
And a comma after birds and. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4 commas. So who did all 3 of them correct? Those who finished.
I did.
She checked it.
Yeah. Okay. So tomorrow on the
I
test, this is what
did.
you'll have to do. Correct the sentences and you'll have to make up your own, just like we practiced on yesterday with making up your own, okay? All right, so that is it for writing. Let's go ahead and move on to phonics.
Miss Fulgence, hold Miss Fulgence. Can I hold it? We're not holding nothing.
Wait, how many letters are there? Just put 2. Backwards. Okay, but I had already checked. Number sentence. How many letters in this name plus how many in this name equals? That's what you're writing here.
No, I started all over again.
Well, yeah, but okay. Okay.
My period's right there. So, hey, I got to check. Hey, at least I just got a 1 check. And I still want to know what about. Miss Fulgence, are we doing the chart?
Oh, this shit's in here.
Can I hold the chart? Can I hold the chart?
All right, so let's go ahead and start with chart 9.
Can I hold it?
I'm sorry, we'll do just chart 10 today.
Can I hold it, Miss Fulgence?
Miss Fulgence. I got my work early.
Okay, good. All right, you have a question, Camille?
Can we unmute while we do this?
Yeah, that's fine. Whenever it's kind of a lot, I just mute it, but yes, you can. All right, so chart 10 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
It says what and well. WH says who and who. CCH says in had. EAR says ear AR says air and
OMG says
old in gold. MB says in lamb. EW says you in blue. EW says you and you. Y says rainy. ST says S big S. LY says Louie. And sharpen. S says in beaches. LD size I'll child. In time.
All right, good. Okay, so that is chart 10. So today we're moving on to our next sounds on chart 10, which are the suffixes. So we're going to do suffix Y that says E, suffix ER that says and suffix EST that says S. So remember, suffixes are not special sounds. A suffix has to have a root word in order for you to use it. They are not the same, okay? So let's go ahead and look at some of them and we'll practice marking them. All right. Okay, let's look at the first word here. So, want someone to tell me how to mark this word? Remember, we mark root words and suffixes different than how we mark special sounds. So how will I mark this and then read it for me? Go ahead. Underline the root word gloom.
And circle the suffix Y.
Suffix Y-E, what's the word?
Gloomy.
Gloomy. Okay, next one here. Harlem, go ahead.
Underline high
Underline the root word high.
and circle
Suffix E-R-R, what's the word?
higher.
Higher, good. Next one here. Wendy, you're almost done. Okay, go ahead, Camille.
Circle EST
Okay, suffix S.
and underline the root word fast.
Good, what's the word?
Fastest.
And just again, guys, I do like your screen to be on. I don't think I have to ask that every time we're on Zoom, so please keep your screens on. Thank you. Thank you, Camille. Fastest, okay? Next one. Let me, you hold the check. Brian? This one here. Long vowel E. The root, underline root word creek.
Circle suffix Y.
Y-E, what's the word? Creaky. Next one. Okay, Hannah.
Underline tight
Underline the root word tight.
and circle the suffix ER.
Circle suffix ER, what's the word?
Tighter.
Tighter, good. And the last one, Solomon, root word.
Have to go back.
Oh, you're on mute? Okay.
SL
Underline the root word slow.
and circle EST.
Circle suffix ESTS, what's the word?
Slowest.
Good. So yesterday we also reviewed the rule that we have to apply when adding a suffix to a root word. Remember, some of the words, there's something you have to do to it in order to apply the suffix. I mean, before you apply the suffix. So I have run, skip, and hop. All of them have a short vowel. And then one vowel, short vowel, and they all end with a consonant. So because they all have a short vowel and they end with a consonant, what's the rule that I have to follow before I add my suffix, Josiah?
Double it.
Double that consonant, okay? So run, could someone tell me what running would look like? Before I put the suffix ing, what will I have to do?
Put two N.
So it will be R,
U-N-N.
N-N-I-N-G, running, good. Next one, I have skip. I want to turn it into skipped. Skipped with the ED. What's the rule? How should I write this where I'm applying ED skipped? Camille?
Add a double P.
Good. So S-K-I-P-P.
I-N-E-D.
ED, skipped. Next, I have hop. I want to turn it into hopping. Hopping. How should I write this the correct way with the suffix ing? How should I apply, the suffix? What's the rule? Let's see. Go ahead, Brian.
Double the P.
Double the P. H-O-P-P-I-N-G. Okay, let's look at these blends here. Let's create some words. You may see these blends on the test on tomorrow. First one is dray. Dray. What's a word I can create from blend? Dray. Dray. What you have, Harlem?
Drake.
Drake. Okay, someone's name.
I know the name.
Okay. Plea. Plea. What's a word I can create from the blend? Plea. What you got?
Please.
Plea. Huh? Please.
That's mine.
With. What's a word I can create from the blend? With. Josiah?
White.
With.
White.
You're saying why? I'm saying with. Okay, just think about it, Hannah, what you have.
Which.
Yes, like when you say which one. That's actually a homonym. But yes, which. Next, cha.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. And then the. What's the word I can create from the?
Thumb.
Thumb.
I want to say that.
Good. Awesome. All right, let's do some clue cards.
Yay, clue cards.
Okay.
I was gonna say book. Because the bus is online.
ING says ing, like in pointy. Okay. This is whenever you lose something, you're trying to find it, you are
Looking.
Oh, I thought you
okay. KN says like in not. Okay. This is this is a way that I could pray.
Kneel.
Yes, by
Wait, what
kneeling.
is a kneel?
Like you kneel down?
Like
on your knees? Yeah.
Bro. That's how I was doing yesterday.
ANG says ang like in bang. Okay. This is what a bat has.
Wait, no. Handy.
Bang.
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 Oh, wait. What is a bang?
It's a pointed tooth.
Oh, I thought
A
you
bat,
said
not a bag, a bat, the animal bat. Okay, ING says ing like in king. Okay, this is what a noun is. ONG says on like in long.
Look how long the dog is.
All right, this is a utensil that you use in the kitchen. You usually use it to like toss salad or things like that. It's a tool. It's like it's
Use in a place. And now is done
like this.
working
Now
place
I know. My daddy's
a
dog.
car.
Yeah, usually. UNG says like in strung. This is the part of the organ that gives our body oxygen.
Lung.
Well, we're saying it again. ANK says ank like in bank. Okay, this is what can happen to a ship if a hole gets in it and water fills up the ship. Like the Titanic sank. INK says ink like in wink. Okay, can y'all wink? Does everybody know how to wink?
Yes, I do.
No, some people don't. Let me
I
see.
know you're not.
Okay.
I keep winking with you.
Okay, INK ink. All right, this is the color you get if you mix red and white.
Pink. Yeah, pink.
Red and white together make pink.
Wait, red and white?
Yeah, red and white.
Yeah, they do. Pink is a lot of shades.
Yeah.
Do a hard one.
UNK says like in
Strong.
Okay, this is an animal that no. That one's not enough. This is a type of bed.
Jump.
Bump.
Bump bed.
Let me see. Oh, now I see bump.
WA says wa, like in wash. Okay, this is this is an animal that you will see on the beach.
Wash.
Walrus. Yes.
No.
Y says E, like in baby. Okay. This is the opposite of a dog.
Cat.
Because you call a full-grown dog a dog, and then you call a baby dog a puppy.
Oh, it's the opposite.
LE says lul, like in little. Okay. This is what you have to have by November.
Bible.
ED says ed, like in wanted.
Oh,
This is something you can do while cleaning.
Sweet.
I don't think sweep is in here. Look at that. Dusted. Dusted. You can dust the TV and the furniture.
Oh, now I know.
ED says like in look. Okay. This is what you do to prepare for a trip. Good. ED says like in played. Okay. This is when someone raises their voice.
Yell.
Yeah.
You do a whole game.
Oh, well, I mean, y'all kind of know these.
W-A.
WH says what, like in well. Okay. This is what makes a car go.
Wheel.
WH, no.
Aw.
Okay. TCH says like in patch. Okay. This is what you have to learn how to do if you're going to play football or basketball.
Cat.
Catch. You don't want to play and you don't know how to catch. Okay, EAR says ear, like in ear. If they're not far away, then they are
Near.
good. EAR says air, like in bear. This is why you have to be careful with paper when holding it, because if you're too rough with it, it can
Tear.
EAR says ear, like in like in earth. Okay, this is something you can find from a clam. That's where clams come from. MB says like in lamb. After you're finished eating, make sure there's none of this left behind. You clean your crumbs. Do you clean your crumbs?
I never look.
Not your parents. Do you clean it?
Miss Clugens, what is that one?
OLD says old, like in gold. Okay. This is how the weather is about to begin to feel. Oh, the winter is coming. EW says ooh and EW says you. All right. This is when the grass is wet in the morning. This is what this is called. The The what? The dew. The dew. Y says E, like in rainy. That's what we did today. Whenever you get close to your bedtime, you start to feel
Fuzzy. Dirty.
Sleepy.
fuzzy. I don't know about that. ER says like in bigger. Okay, this is the opposite of faster.
Slower.
EST says like in
Big
biggest.
ass. Look at that.
This is the opposite of quietest.
No, you
Loudest.
Loudest.
Loudest. It's
A
loudest.
second.
Where do you live, Camille?
I live in California. Sassoon City,
Sorry.
California.
Okay, we're back.
Yeah, must be a lot of earthquakes.
All right, so let's go ahead and go into reading.
Reading.
Yes, your reading book.
Reading.
64.
Say 4. Yeah. Oh.
Say 64.
Yes.
64.
Okay. You still didn't put the numbers right here. This is the total. You didn't put the numbers right here.
Can I go potty? Story tree. That's my last one. What page?
Next language.
The elephant in your mouth. Can I go?
33. Okay, 62, 64, I'm sorry.
There.
I found it.
I'm
May
gonna-
I read?
Okay, 64. About the elephant and the monkey.
They look mad.
All right, Solomon, go ahead and start us off.
Can I read next?
There lived a monkey and an elephant who could not agree. The elephant thought of himself as being very strong. How proud was he?
That's not how many letters.
A monkey thought of himself as being very quick. See how quick I am, he chattered.
I already did it.
Okay, so 43.
You said to do that yesterday.
Okay, so there was a monkey and an elephant who had a problem. What was their issue? They could not what?
Agree.
Meaning get along. They just couldn't get along with one another, right? The elephant thought he was super strong, and the monkey thought he was very quick. So they both have this way that they think they're best at a certain thing, okay? So let's go ahead to 65. We'll do half of it. Come on, Carly, and I'm gonna tell you where to stop.
Can I go next?
Okay, go ahead, Carly.
I believe it is better to be strong, replied the elephant. But since we cannot agree, let's ask the wise old owl. We can't agree, they said to the owl. Is it better to be strong or to be quick? The wise old owl said, as I say so that I may see which is better. Go to that big fruit tree in the field
Yeah.
across the river, pick some fruit and bring it to me.
Good. Let me see. Okay, so they felt like the elephant felt like it was better to be strong, but the monkey said it was better to be fast. So who do they get to help them agree?
The wise
The wise owl, okay? So the
owl.
owl gives them a task. He says, go to the fruit tree in the field across the river and pick some fruit and bring it to me. So let's see. Okay, other one. All right, go ahead, Camille. And you can go into 66. I'll just tell you where to stop.
Down the valley went the elephant and the monkey. But when they got to the river, the monkey was afraid to go across.
Keep going.
I'm strong, barged the elephant. Bragged the elephant. I am not afraid of a swift water. Get on my head, I'll carry you across.
Okay,
Then
you
they
can stop there. Good. So they're like, okay, we're gonna prove which one is better. So down the valley went the elephant and the monkey, but when they got to the river, who was afraid to go in?
A monkey.
The monkey.
Okay, the monkey. So what does the elephant suggest?
Get on his head.
He says, get on me and I'm gonna carry you across because he said I'm strong, so I can just carry you across. Okay, let's keep going.
I did that yesterday.
Okay, no, I didn't. Okay.
I
Spelling.
did.
All right, go ahead.
Where is she, Miss Blue?
We're on 66. When?
I know. Or
Other.
other side of the river, they found a
Get FR, and that's a long vowel.
front. Wait. The front way. The foot with its trunk.
I, the H word? I. IGH says I.
High above them. The elephant tried, let's say tried to pick the front with, and that's it is with his.
Oh, you can stop there. Okay. Okay, so they agree that they're going to do this way. So do they get to the other side?
Yes.
Yes, they eventually get to the other side, but now there's another problem. Where is the fruit?
In the tree.
But is it just in the tree? It's high in the tree, right? So the elephant is trying, the elephant is trying with his trunk. Is it working?
No.
It's not. So let's see on 67. Okay, we'll do Harlem, we'll do half.
His trunk, but it was too high. Then he tried to knock down the tree, but he could not. I am quick, chattered the monkey. I will climb the tree and drop the fruit to you.
Okay, stop there. So they get there. It's too high for the elephant. Is he successful knocking it down? No. So what does the monkey say?
You'll climb and drop it down.
Yes. So he says, I will climb the tree and drop it to you. Look how they're working together. Okay, let's keep reading. 67.
Where are they?
That is. Okay. Go ahead, Hannah. Unmute.
Oh, that is just what he did. The elephant picked up the fruit with his trunk. The monkey hopped onto the elephant's head, and back across the river they went. That's it.
Good. So that's just what they did. So the elephant climbs to go and get the fruit, right? And then he hops back on the elephant's head. They have the fruit and they're going back across the river. So let's see what the owl says. 68, because remember, that's the task he gave them to complete to see if it was better to be stronger or quicker. 68. One who didn't read would like to go? Didn't read.
68.
Yeah, 68. Come on, Mina.
Which is better, they asked the owl. Is it better to be strong or quick? Neither of you could get the fruit alone, said the owl. It took both quickness and strength. That's all.
Okay, so the owl said, who was better?
Both.
Both, right? He's like, because both of them had their own strength. And so when both of them put their strengths together, a monkey being quick, the elephant being strong, were they able to get something done?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was the point. And so that's for us, like we all have differences. We all have strengths, things that we are strong in, and we have things that we are weak in. But we should never think that our strength is better than everyone else's, because someone can be strong in one area that we're weak in. But sometimes we could use both of our strengths together to get things done. So don't say, oh, I'm better than them. I read faster than them, but they might do math better than you. But say if you need help in math and they need help in reading, you can put it together and work together. So that was what the owl was trying to teach the elephant and the monkey, that yes, you both have strengths, but put them together and you'll be able to get more things done. And sometimes it takes both of your strengths to get it done. Okay? All right, so that's our story today. Tomorrow you read about Br'er Fox and Br'er Bear. You read about them tomorrow. It's a funny little story. Okay? All right. That's okay. Br'er Fox and Br'er Bear.
That's a funny one.
Yeah, that's a good story.
Giant.
Okay, so you can go ahead and get out your math book. Today we're measuring. There's an actual page for us to measure. Does everyone have their rulers today?
No.
Some people were missing some on Monday. What about today?
No.
I got it. It's out my room. It's in the loft.
I'm gonna get him. So it's going to be 43.
43.
Lesson worksheet 43.
It's in my other room.
Okay, you can go grab it. I think everybody's trying to get theirs. Let me see.
Got it.
Huh? You write a sentence with each word. So first grade, after you finish, do your pages in your book. You get your book, you need a spelling book to see the words. So you write a sentence with each word inside of it. So shy. What's a sentence you can say with shy? I am shy. There you go. So that's what you need to do next. So
Which page was it
words. How many
included?
sentences?
Like this.
No, that's after you done with the book.
I'm done now. I need a little tweak. I was blue.
Why do you have pink? That's not pink.
Oh, I had green. Wow,
Lose which page?
I mean, I had your eraser.
It's lesson worksheet 43. Looks like this. Has the different lines on it. We kind of practiced it on Monday already, but we just have another one today.
Can I go into custom?
Lesson worksheet 43. Everybody has it? Let me see when you get it.
No, it's right.
Did y'all do it already? Okay, go ahead. Did some people do it already today? Or not yet? Not yet? Okay. Go ahead. When he comes back. You did your pages in your book? So now using those same words, you're in a sentence with what I just said. Yes, you're spelling words. You're making a sentence with the spelling word. So the word is shy. You have to make a sentence with the word shy.
I am shy.
There you go. So then you
I
use
don't
the
know
next
how to
word,
use it.
she. She, I don't know.
Where do I go from this area?
Mark a circle under the word that tells about the picture.
No, wait,
Street, run, eat. Or which one of these will go to the picture?
it's
All right. So let's look at our page. You have a question, Camille?
What's the page number?
Lesson worksheet 43.
Yes.
We'll print it out.
Miss Fugents,
Uh-huh.
my mom's printing out my page.
Okay. Wait a minute.
2 inches. What? That's 2. Oh, yeah, it is. Right out, like the blue. Being as on you. I'm done.
Miss Fugents,
Mm-hmm.
The green.
which letter are we on?
Spelling bee.
Say that again.
Are we on A to B?
No, lesson worksheet 43. It's an inches paper. This is it here, Harlem. Lesson worksheet 43.
Okay.
Okay, so the only thing that's making our lesson different today from when we did it the other day, so we learned how to measure. Remember, we all have a ruler, right? Our ruler has 2 sides. We have the inches side, which goes to 12 inches. Then we have the centimeter side, which goes to 30 centimeters. So this ruler is 1 foot. So that means 12 inches equals 1 foot, okay? So whenever we talked about measuring, I told you we always start with the very first line on the ruler, not the number 1. Because if we start with the number 1, we'll miss a whole inch. So we have to start, if you look at my ruler, on the very first line. Some of your rulers actually have a 0, which makes it a little easier. Yes, if it has a 0, then that's where you start. But that's actually the centimeter side, Harlem. That's not the inches side. So inches always has the bigger spaces. Centimeters has smaller spaces. We're not on centimeters yet. We're still on inches. Okay? So inches, they're bigger spaces. So always make sure to start on the first line. So if you're measuring a line, you always measure, okay? You always measure the first line to the start of the line. You cannot start measuring in the middle of the line because you won't get the correct measurement. So you have to make sure to start at the very beginning of the line and always put it underneath. If it's facing sideways, put it like this. Don't put it on top of the line. You won't be able to see the line, right? Okay. So today we're going to talk about what's called a line segment. So what it means is just the name of a line. So if you look at your book on lesson worksheet, if you look at the first one, look at this line here. It says E and F. So it's line E, point E to point F. So that would be called line segment EF because it's E, it starts with E and ends with F. That's all that means. So these are called line segments, and the name of the line is based on the letter. So look at this one. It starts with C, then it ends with D. It would be line segment CD. This one starts with A, ends with B. It will be line segment AB. Next one. This one starts with I, it ends with J. Line segment IJ. And when you say line segment, it's just the points that are meeting each other. So you see how it has that dot at the start of the line? That's what I mean by a point, okay?
Oh.
A point, it's a little dot, the point to point. Okay, so I'm gonna give you some time. You can go ahead and do the whole page on your own.
What's C again?
Okay, go ahead and do it on your own. So you might have to turn your book a little bit to kind of get some of them. You have some horizontal, vertical, and oblique lines. So just maybe, move your book around as necessary, as needed, so that you can measure. Okay, so I'll give you about, it's 1:04. I'll give you like 5 minutes. I don't think it'll take that long, but just in case. Okay, go ahead and start measuring.
So wait.
Okay, so are we ready? Are we still measuring?
It's still measuring.
Okay. Don't do the 1, 2, 3. We'll do that together. I just want you to measure the lines first.
I shall cut and measure.
You're gonna break it.
I'm gonna measure the last one. Miss Florence.
Mm-hmm.
I might have tear up my paper because I can't really do it.
Okay, if you have to, that's fine.
It's 11 inches. 8. Is 9 inches. So this is 10 inches. You're doing it wrong. No, it's 8. This is 10. I'm running out of time. 26. No, 8.
And come right here with your pencil.
No, 6. This is 8. It's 6. Seriously, you have to start all over again.
Guys, we got to do it all over again. I was going over it. I didn't realize I was on mute.
Can I finish doing A, B?
So let's go to EF. I was asking, that's why nobody was raising their hand. Y'all couldn't hear me.
EF.
So EF, how many inches is line segment EF? EF, go ahead, Josiah.
4.
Not 4. Measure again.
Halfway 4. So what was it again?
You measured again? Let's see. Make sure the first line is, huh?
3.
Yeah, 3 inches. Does everyone have 3 inches?
Yes.
Next, we have line segment CD. CD. Camille, CD. What you have?
5 inches.
5 inches. Yes, 5 inches. Next, we have AB. Line segment AB. AB. 7 inches. Everyone have 7 inches? Next, IJ. Line segment IJ. Anyone? Okay, Hannah.
4.
4 inches. What about line segment KL? KL, Solomon, go ahead.
2.
2 inches. And then GH. GH. Harlem.
5. 9.
You said 5 or 9?
5.
Measure again.
He's close, Miss Flugent.
Mm-hmm.
Told you, right? 9.
You might be on centimeters now. Try again. Make sure you're measuring at the first line. Right underneath that line, GH.
I know. It's literally.
Oh, Mina, you have 4-boy tickets or no?
Grandma does, except she needs to find them.
Okay.
My mama and my
Okay, you have it now, Harlem, or still working on it?
I have it.
Okay, what you have?
6.
Yes.
I told you guys.
6. Awesome. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. This is after you measure. You can do this on your own time.
Don't do that.
The oblique lines will be, you can trace them with yellow, the vertical lines with blue, and the horizontal lines with red. Okay, so that's something you can do on your own time. All right. Okay. All right. So that is it for math. So let's go ahead and review our language. We'll add list 6 today, which is pretty easy, a very easy list. This is about things. Yeah, so find your paper. We're at list 6. That's our last pronouns list. So we'll do 1 more week of pronouns and then we'll move on to verbs.
Oh. Where are we gonna I don't know this for.
List 4. Okay, I'm gonna put it back up.
Lift it up. Miss Flugence.
Hey, come here with your pencil. Come. Yes.
When we get done, can I tell you about this new show on PBS Kids?
Okay. What country was he friends with? Benjamin Franklin. England beat France.
That's what I did.
Number
4
So I
is.
circled England. Ben was also famous.
I know, I'm starting out.
All right. So list 6. No, where's your original paper? The one where you had list 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what is a pronoun?
A pronoun is a word used in the place of a noun.
Yes, pronouns take the place of nouns. We have the pronoun, then we add the noun to it, right? I mean, we have the pronoun, we take it out to place the noun. So list 1 dealt with pronouns that deal with our name. When we take out our name, we add in these pronouns. Who could tell me all 4 of the pronouns from list 1 that take the place of our name? Go ahead, Hannah. What are they? Unmute, yeah.
I, me, my, mine.
Me, my, and mine. Good. So list 2 were the pronouns. This is just somebody else. I do yours. Hold on. Okay, list 2 deals with names of people. Could someone list all of the pronouns for list 2 that deal with the names of people? Okay, go ahead, Evan.
He, she, him, her, his, and hers.
Good. He, she, him, her, his, and hers. List 3 are the pronouns whenever we are speaking to someone. Instead of saying the noun, their name, we could use these 3 pronouns to take the place of their name. Josiah?
You, your, yours.
You, your, and yours. Now list 4 and list 5 are our new lists that we learned on this week. List 4 deals with us and someone together. So when we, us, when you and someone are together, what are the pronouns you use? There are 4 of them. What are the pronouns you use to use in place of you and the person's name? What are the pronouns that you would use in place of your names, Amina?
We, us, our.
We, us, our, and ours. So instead of saying my dad and I could just say we. Instead of saying my family, we can say our, because you are in there. So this is only if you're included. If you're not included in it, then you cannot use we, us, our, ours. Now list 5 deals with a group of people. Now we are not in this group. So if there were Joseph's brothers, instead of listing all 11 of their names, what could I say instead of listing every single one of their names? What could I say, Solomon? What are the 4 pronouns?
Where's the commas?
You're on mute.
They, them, their, theirs.
They, them, their, theirs. Yes. So those pronouns take the place of their names. So good. So let's go ahead and introduce list 6. Now list 6 covers things, right? When we have things. Now, if you remember, what are things? Like plants, animals, objects, right? These are all things. Now there's only 2 pronouns we use for things. Does anybody remember before I say it?
Me.
Does anybody remember the 2 pronouns we use for things? What are they, Evan? What you have?
Non-living and.
Well, yeah, non-living, living is when nouns, but whenever we say it as a pronoun. Does anyone remember? So it's no, them is for a group of people. So instead of saying the dog was barking, the dog is the noun. I want to take out the noun, the dog, to put a certain pronoun. Instead of saying the dog was barking, guess what I can say? It was barking. So anytime you have a thing, it is the pronoun you use. So instead of saying the pen is red, I'm going to take out the noun, the pen, and say it is red. So it takes the place. So list 6 are whenever we discuss things. Things. That's like a plant, an animal, an object, a pen, a pencil, a table. We say it. And now another one, when dealing with things, instead of saying the cat slept on the bed, I would say the cat slept on its bed.
That is easy.
Yeah. This is list 6, dealing with things. It and its. So instead of saying the horse will run, I can say it will run. See? It takes the place of things. Those are pronouns. It and its are pronouns that take the place of things. You can write list 6. Can you get your pencil and come over
That's
this?
all, Miss Susan?
Mhm.
Miss Susan, we never learned about that thing right there. The comma, like,
Oh yeah. Oh, that's an
Yeah.
apostrophe. Yeah, we'll learn those too.
apostrophe.
Mhm.
We did learn that. Yeah,
Well, yeah, when we did contractions, yeah. All right, okay.
I don't remember one thing about it. Me either.
All right. We have it down. List 6. So this is our final list. So tomorrow our test will include list 4, 5, and 6. Won't be much with 6, but 4 and 5 will be on our test on tomorrow. Next week we have a short week next week. So next week we'll review pronouns, and then the following week we'll have our final week of pronouns, and then we're moving on to verbs in November. Okay. So we'll have one more week with pronouns, and that'll be it with pronouns. Okay.
Bye.
All right, so let's go ahead and go over science, social studies, then we'll be done.
I have them out already.
Okay. So you don't need the books. I'm just walking through a review of what you can expect on the test and like things that are important from the lesson.
No. You don't need the books. I'm smart. You should have did it yesterday. I never got to eat today. Don't forget to like the game.
Yeah.
And if I wrote the day, we all looked good. But I needed to spell Wednesday a little bit.
All right. So let's go ahead and discuss our science. So we're moving on to chapter 3, which is about plants. So this week we're just introducing the different parts of a plant. Remember, plants are super important, right? Because a lot of the things that we need, like the food, also the oxygen that we breathe in, comes from plants. Remember, plants give us oxygen, we give them carbon dioxide. So plants also are important because of the foods we like. If you like to eat burgers, right? If you like a nice steak or something like that, you get that from cows. And guess what cows eat? Grass, which is a plant, right? If you like lamb, or if you like, well, we also get wool from lambs as well to make different types of clothing with. If you like cheese, does anybody like cheese? Like you like cheesy stuff? I like cheese. Yes, so cheese, if you drink cow's milk, all of these things come from cows. The wool comes from the lamb, right? And they all eat meat, plants. Then we have chickens. If you like to have eggs for breakfast sometimes, or if you like to eat tuna fish and you put eggs in there, or potato salad, I don't know if that's how you make it, but anyway, are you just like eggs? Are you like chicken, fried chicken, baked chicken, chicken wings, all kinds of chicken? If you like any of that, that comes from chickens, and chickens eat plants. So everything needs plants. Actually, God made plants before He made us and the animals. Remember, He made the dry land on day 3. So plants are very important. They give us oxygen, and also a lot of our food comes from plants. And not only the meat we eat, but the vegetables and the fruits that we eat come from plants.
Miss Flores, you're muted.
I know, 1 second. Okay, sorry. Okay, so also we talked about how each part of the plant and their job. So there are 4 parts. So we have the roots, which are underground. We don't really see the roots, but we know that part is the most important part because that's the part that makes its way and puts that plant. It starts the plant off in the ground. It has to have strong roots in order for the plant to come out. So the roots, their job is to drink water and nutrients from the soil. The soil is like the dirt. They drink that from the soil because that's the starting process to help the plant grow. Once the root gets enough water and nutrients, then we'll see the stem start to push out. The stem, I told you, is like a straw. The stem will suck up the water and nutrients from the roots and passes it to the leaves. Then we have the leaves. The leaves' job is to make food for the plant. If the plant wants to eat, guess what part of it makes the food? The leaves. Then if the leaves feed the plant enough, and there's other things like water and sunlight, we'll talk about that, when we get to it. But then we have the flower part of the plant that makes the seeds. That's their job, to make all of the seeds for the plant, because all plants grow from a seed. If we have no seeds, we have no plant. Now, also, some plants don't have a flower. They have what's called a cone, which just yesterday we were finding the cones. Did anyone find a cone? No?
Yes, by my garage.
Yeah, Hannah, you said you did?
I didn't bring it inside. No.
Oh, that's okay. Yes, so a cone. Yes, we know cones. If the plant doesn't have a flower, it's a cone. It'll have a cone, okay? So that's in science this week, just the 4 parts of the plant and each job of each part and why plants are important. Now, moving on to social studies. You may want to get that book out. Go to page 50 because that one has a lot more detail in it. Yes. Okay. Yeah, because it's a lot of different things that I'll be asking versus science. It's a little easier.
I got to the page. No, I've been. Which page were we on?
50? 50? Okay, let's look at page 50. Are we ready? We're not reading. I'm just reviewing. I just wanted you to get the book out so that you can look at it. That's all. Okay. All right, so this week we discussed the different colonial shops that we would find in a colonial town. So remember, colonial time is when there were the 13 colonies. These are the colonial days. So they usually had small little towns and they had these different shops in their towns. So nowadays, we can go to like the grocery store and find most of this stuff there. But in colonial days, they usually had certain shops for certain things. So the first shop on page 50 is the silversmith, okay? Obviously, the silversmith made things from silver. So he would make things like buckles and candle holders and earrings. He would make those types of things and spoons in his shop. So he was like a lot of different things, like the jewelry store, you would kind of say the silversmith was like. So he would make all the different things using silver. So then on 51, we went to the blacksmith. So the blacksmith used iron as his metal to make different things. He would make horseshoes, nails, and tools for mostly the farmers, or just if anyone was building anything, he would make tools for them. He would put the metal underneath the hot fire And then once the metal was hot enough, he could bend it and pound it with his hammer into whatever he wanted it to be, whether it was a horseshoe or whatever. So the blacksmith also had another job. He was also like the dentist, right? Okay, the dentist. And so if someone had a toothache, their tooth was hurting really bad, guess what the blacksmith would do?
Pull it out.
He would use those pincers to pull their tooth out. They didn't have like dentists and all of that. So the blacksmith was the dentist. Okay, page 52. The next shop we would visit on page 52 would be the joiner. Now the joiner was like the furniture store. He was a cabinet maker. He also made things like a table, a chair. He made different pieces of furniture as well. The joiner, he was the one, if you wanted any type of furniture for your kitchen, he was the one you would visit. Then we went to the cobbler, who was the person responsible for making shoes. Now, a cool thing about their shoes is that they didn't have a left or right like we have shoes now. They actually just had one type of shoe, and eventually as they wore it, it would, kind of form to their feet. I'm not sure if you've ever put your shoes on the wrong feet before, but doesn't it feel strange when you do? Doesn't feel right, right? And so, yeah, that's because how the shoes are made. They're made for left and right. And so the cobbler, he would make them a certain way, but as they would kept putting the shoe on, kept putting it on, it would start to feel like how it feels for us now. Like when you put it on, you say, oh no, that's the wrong foot. So the cobbler, he would often go around. His shop was pretty big because they didn't have cars at the time. So they would walk a lot. So his job, he was often going to people's homes to fix their shoes for them. Their shoes were made from leather, and he was the one that would fix the shoes. They wore out really fast because they would walk all over, and so he made sure to go from place to place fixing their shoes. So on 53, we discussed different shops like the apothecary, which is like the pharmacy where you would get medicine. From the apothecary, they did a lot of natural medicine with herbs and spices. It's a lot different from the medicines that we have now. But if you wanted any type of medicine, say you had a fever, you had a sore throat, or anything, the apothecary was the shop that you would visit. Next, we have the cooper, who was responsible for making all the barrels. Remember, the colonists weren't able to have like how we can freeze things, we can put things in a pantry. They didn't have, we can can foods. They didn't do all of that. So it's for their food to stay fresh longer, they would put their stuff in barrels, and also their water they would put in barrels to keep it fresh so the water wouldn't go bad. So the cooper, he had the job of making barrels. Okay. Then we just discussed the whitesmith or the tinsmith. He made things from tin, which is another type of metal. He would also make things like lanterns. Remember, they didn't have electricity. He would make lanterns, candle holders, cups, and dippers. A dipper is just a big spoon. That's all it is. So he would make those different kinds of things. So you had all the different shops that you would visit for whatever you needed. You would go to that shop. Then on 55, or 54, sorry. On page 54, we discussed how they actually kind of made a little business. So some of the colonists didn't have money. Like farmers, they really had crops. They didn't have money. So what they would do is if they needed some horseshoes from the blacksmith, they would say, hey, I'll give you 10 ears of corn if you make me 2 horseshoes. So that's how they would barter, which also means to trade. That's what they would do. They would barter with one another that way. So if one person made one thing, say the tinsmith says, hey, I have these dippers. I'll give you 3 dippers to the blacksmith if you can make me a nail, right? And they would trade that way. So if you didn't have money, that was another way they kind of did it. They would trade. Now that would be a good thing if they had that today, right? Yeah. If you could say, hey, I have this and I'll trade you for, say, a PlayStation, right? Yeah. They would say, oh yeah, it's a lot easier to do that versus having money, right? Unfortunately, that's not how it is. We have to have money today. Okay, so those were the colonial shops that we visited this week. You have a test on that on Friday, okay? So that is it. We have completed all of our lessons on today. So good job, everyone.
It's Flugents.
Yes?
Can I tell you that new show on PBS Kids?